to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Owen Hayes. You're watching Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented to you by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. And today we got a special one lined up for you. And saying that, it's September 27th. It's the end of September. By the way, September, best month ever. Excuse me. I just love September because that gets you October. And what's October get you? Take a guess. Duck season. But we've got some great options when you're talking about chasing silvers and tributaries. And today, that's our topic. I've got David Hawken here in the studio from Simon Hawken Fishing. We're going to talk about twitching jigs, how to use them the right way, different techniques, rods. I've got a special deal as well on an edge rod for twitching that's actually in stock that you can actually get a discount on. Where are you going to find that? Nowhere. But before we get to that, we got a lot to cover with David. And when we do so, we also have a video clip. Now, you remember, just a couple, 3 years ago, I had Bob Kratzer here in the studio. We were talking specifically about this topic, and there was some different techniques that he was referring to as far as the cadence, hang. Remember what hang means? Some of you may, and some of you may not. But we've got a video clip of him actually on the water, produced by David Hawken, believe it or not, out there showing you exactly how to twitch the right way. Rather than just talking about it and just kind of giving you a rough idea, we're going to show you exactly how Bob would train you if you were on his boat. And you'll see that, is that the first time it's going to be, is it online or something? It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube, but nothing's better than here on Outdoor GPS. But we're going to have that for you, that video clip as well. But like always, in this upcoming segment, we're going to have our report segment. We're going to talk about river levels and fish counts and all that stuff, which is very, very interesting this time of year. Yes, they had a meeting this week to decide if they were going to give us any more Chinook below Bonneville, or for that matter, throughout the Columbia before October 1st. We'll talk about that in this upcoming segment. But in the fish counts, kind of interesting, especially if you're paying attention to a very small niche fishery in my backyard, which I spent a little bit of time on this week. But we're going to have all that typical information like we always do. A couple of reminders and a CCA banquet that actually happens today that I need to remind you of as well. So we're going to have that, and we'll check in with Peyton Major to find out what this weather is going to do this upcoming week, because if you've been paying attention, and I'm sure you've been watching us here on KPDX or KPTV, we got a lot of rain coming. And it's going to change things very, very quickly. But there's a lot of folks already asking questions. Well, how much water do we really need to see? How much do the rivers actually have to bounce in order for us to get excited about going and chasing them? And some of the tributaries right now that are just low and clear and have been for months, right? Well, we'll talk about that. You don't want to get too excited just yet. But it is all good stuff. So we're going to get that info like we always do from Peyton. And we have your deal of the week from Fisherman's Marine that I've got a note here, Joey, that says make sure to check with Joe. So we'll find out what that is later on in the show, but we'll have that deal of the week for you as well. All right, if you'd like to call us up, if you have questions, comments, or reports, call us up on that North American Metals hotline. It's right there, 503-548-6777. We'd love to hear from you. First couple of segments, we got the time to take a couple of those calls. So if you want to jump in, do that right now. Okay. Oh, there's one. I'm kidding. You would never have known, but I am kidding. All right, let's go ahead and start showing you some of the photos that everyone's been sending in. And we got a whole bunch of them that we're going to show you this morning. So pay attention if you've been sending photos in the last handful of weeks, because it does take a little while for them to show up. This is from Blake Ross, one of each. What that means is in his right hand, that's a really nice Chinook, and then the other one, it's a silver or a coho, whatever you want to call it. Nice photo too, by the way. I know right where he was, but I'm not going to say nothing. Birthday fish, Adrian. I hope I said that correctly. I'm terrible with all that. Super good, nice fish. Look at that, just a dime. Some of the coastal reports have been interesting and disappointing all at the same time. And as long as my brain will remember, we'll talk about that this upcoming segment. Buoy 10 with buzz. No kidding. See ya, Cortez. I love that. There's Mr. Ramsey in the background there. Obviously, Buoy 10 just above Megler. Silver fishing's been pretty interesting down there, too. Hopefully, like I said, I'll remember that one as well. Cash's first Chinook. Brian sent this in. That's a dandy. There's just been some really nice fish this year. Hopefully that holds through October, November, when you're talking about chasing silvers. Look at this one, daughter's first big game hunt. That's an antelope, everyone. How cool is that? That is really, really cool. I wonder if that's in Oregon. Hard to say. I got mine in Wyoming. Had to go all the way over there. I don't want to get sidetracked. Alcee Bay. Mike sent this over. Nice fish. Look at that. Look at the excitement on her face. I love it. It's easy to do, everyone. We'll show you how to actually do this yourself in just a second. Here's another one. Nice hatchery fish. Looks like a steelhead to me. Look at the tail, how squared off that is. Oh, okay. Just read the caption, dummy. Drano steelhead. Brian, thanks for sending the photo over. Used to be one of my favorite fisheries of all time. By the way, did you see his hands? I know we don't have to go back, but did you see his hands? Fishing with David Pyle. David, one of the guys that I've been trying to get in my studio for 100 years, and yet haven't done it. David, if you're out there watching, I'd love to get you in the studio and tell your story. Terry, thanks for sending the photo over. Great photo. If you ever want to go out and learn how to chase some of these salmon around, look up David Pyle. I'm just going to throw that out there. Gone catching with Cameron Black. Yeah, that's typically what Cameron does. Down there in the lower Columbia River, but I won't say exactly where, although that boat launch gives it away. Kyle, thanks for sending the photo over. See, David, I love to give up some info, but not all of it, just not to get in too much trouble. Chase's monster. That's a trout? Look at the head on that thing. That's a steelhead. Okay, that's a pin raised trout. Look at the tail. Brad, thanks for sending the photo over. Great photo, too, by the way. That'll end up on somebody's wall, other than already on live television. Another nice photo. What the heck is that? Is that silver? Oh, yeah. Kenai silver. Just wrong state, but the correct species. Hillbillies pops. Okay. Looks like the Kenai is still producing some fish. One of these days, maybe I'll get back up there. We'll see how that pans out, if they actually get fish back like they used to. Tuna time. Wow, Steve, nice photo. Look at all those tuna. Did you do any tuna fishing this year? No. You did not. A lot of people did. Got a lot of big fish. There was a marlin caught off of our coast. Did you hear that? Dude, that marlin was incredible. That made national news, by the way. Tuna time. Steve, thanks for sending the photo over. We'll get to exactly how to do it, and there you go. It's the Fox 12 app. It's free. Download it. Go to your app store or whatever the heck it is. You find those things. When you do so, follow along with us here at Fox 12, but of course, with us here at Outdoor GPS, you can upload your photos and videos there. We do the best we can to show those off. Tim in Woodland. I don't think we're going to get to that call this segment, maybe this upcoming one. So, Joey, hold on to that one for me. It's Abby's, gps@abbys.com. If you want to enter yourself in to win a giant pizza from Abby's, and I would highly recommend that you do. And even if you don't win, head over to Abby's and get some great pizza and spuds, if you eat carbs. I eat way too many of those, it seems like. All right, we're going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, I've got Tim from Woodland on the line, your backyard. Also, we're going to go through all the information that you love to see, fish counts, river levels. I'll have a report to share for a number of different things, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Outdoor GPS in just a minute.